immoral, and wrong.
This is the modern.
Okay, fellas, you guys are up and on.
It's the modern eater.
Food, 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 food! Come and get it!
And now your hosts, Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, and Brian Freeman.
I'm loving this one.
Oh, my gosh.
Live from Liberati Restaurant and Brewery, 25th and Champa. It's a good one. It's a party. It's a grape stomp party, Brian.
It is a grape stomp. People are pulling off their boots, pulling back their pants, and jumping into these grapes like it's nobody's business. I love to see that all day, every day.
Usually you embellish everything that you say, but this time, man, you're right on the money. Taking off your boots, pulling up, whether you come in a skirt or some shorts or jeans and roll them up. It's all in the family tonight in a grape stomp party here at Liberati Restaurant and Brewery. Alex Liberati is going to join us here momentarily, but this is a project we've been working on for quite some time. Jay Parker, Kenyon George, Dave Ree, Brian Freeman alongside of Greg Hollenbeck tonight, and we're just having a good time in the Mile High City. You're in store for a treat tonight as I share this to our Facebook page. And we're streaming live also on Facebook. Full value, Brian, right?
I would encourage everyone. Tonight's one of those nights you want to see what is going on down here because, quite honestly, as I look around the room, people are just having fun. We're engaging in a local spirit called food, right?
Yep, that's right. So we're going to cover a lot of things, but we want to highlight this project that we're working on here. And basically it's brewing an Ono beer with grapes sourced from Palisade, Colorado, which we took a little trip. You're going to hear all about this story. It's a love story is what I say that it is. And all the love for Colorado. I want to jump Jay Parker into this conversation right now, Jay. Working hard, first of all. Thank you, Jay.
Hey, you're welcome.
There he is, Alex Liberati. He's coming around, putting his headset on. He's... Sure, we'll just hold a live radio
We're
show.
getting the update. Hey, right here, Alex Liberati's coming to us, and he's telling us.
Hey, Alex, take this headset and tell everybody when you'll be back.
Here you go.
I'll be back in just 15 minutes, people.
I love that. He is managing the grape stomp that is going on outside of these gated walls.
Speaking of grape stomps, I think that's a good enough segue to throw up some video of the grape stomps that was happening earlier. If you're in earshot, go to our Facebook live broadcast right now and watch these awesome people. I'm watching it right now. I've never seen grape stomping up live, you guys, and I'll tell you what, it's different than I expected. I don't know what I expected, I guess.
It's not everything you ever wanted.
But it's not what I expected.
What'd you expect, Jay?
I don't know. I just said I don't know what I expected, but looking at it, I go, I didn't expect it to look like that.
Well, I'll tell you, in the old day, it was a much bigger vessel that they were all jumping around in.
It looks
It
looks a little more oatmealish, in there with the grapes, oatmealish. And but these people were going nuts. They were stomping the heck out of these grapes.
It's one of those things you jump into this because it's laid out, and we have buckets with I think we carted in 1,800 pounds, 1,000 pounds of grapes from Palisade, Colorado. Alex Liberati, just to paint the picture, is back in the brewery, divvying up these grapes into individual buckets for stomping, right? And then they lay them out, 6 deep. And folks up against the railing. But you go in, and people think about, oh, my God, you're putting your feet into grapes. It's not sanitary. He's got it under control. So he's sanitizing everybody's feet before they go in.
Yep.
So spray them down, put them into some sanitizer, and then they get into these buckets. I'll tell you what, the folks that have jumped into these buckets, there's not one frown on anybody's face.
No, they're having a great time. I love to see it, and I was out there talking with some of them, Greg, and it was funny how enthusiastic some of the people were stomping those grapes, because you would look in some of them and they were like foaming that they were jumping. The grapes themselves were foaming that these people were jumping so hard on them and moving their feet so fast. I thought that was good.
Tonight is a full house at Liberati Restaurant and Brewery. It's actually not too late. If you want to come down to 25th and Champa Street, right in the heart of Rhino, you can get into this event and have some fun with us. But the highlights of this event just don't stop at the grape stomping. Josh Nuremberg traveled all the way from Grand Junction in bin 707, Tacoparty, dinner party, all those great establishments that Josh owns in Grand Junction, brings over his scratch-to-table concepts. Locked and loaded the whole menu in Grand Junction, a great prep area that he has. Brought it to Denver. People are feasting on delicious bites right now from Josh Nuremberg.
I would tell you, if you're around the neighborhood at $40, I would still jump into this all day long, because the reality is did you hear what Alex said? Hey, if you came here and you bought a ticket, you're getting all the beer you won't get to try, whether it's our Uno Seco or not. I'm going to give you a taste of what Liberati, downtown Denver, has to offer.
And it's like one of those, there's more. That's not it. There's more. Truly, there is more, because Carlson Vineyards, who supplied us the grapes, Brian, in Palisade, Colorado, is down here as well with their delicious Colorado wines. Now, a lot of times you'll hear Colorado Vineyard, right? Not so much. These guys, they're growing their own grapes. Everything is truly Colorado here for this project. So what's the project, Brian? The project is that we're brewing this delicious Ono beer. What's an Ono beer? Do you know?
I know.
Jay, tell us what an
Jay Parker,
Jay Parker
jumping in here.
An Ono beer, to my understanding, and as I say this,
and
now,
I think it's
now I doubt
Eno
myself.
Beer.
Eno beer, yeah, you're right. Eno beer is a beer-wine hybrid, and the reason why it's a hybrid is because it's a beer, but it's made with grapes. And typically speaking, you don't make beer with grapes. Does that sound right? I
Yes,
think
you
I'm
are
right,
correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
it's
I'll see you
not
guys
all
later.
grapes, and that's the whole thing that everyone needs to know about it, because I think a lot of people, and I wish Alex was here to really explain it, but I think once you say to somebody, oh, it's made with grapes, they start going down a bad trail. And that's not really the case with these beers, because I think that these beers are really unique. Is you're going to get a beer that might have something on the back end of that beer that is more like a barrel taste that you're getting out of, look at so many of these collaborations that all of our brewers are doing with whiskey barrels. Alex is just doing it with a wine barrel.
So this beer will take about a year to come to fruition. And in 1 year's time, here's what I'm really excited about. We'll actually invite you to join us in Grand Junction, Colorado at Bin 707 when we'll have the first release of this beer. And it'll come with us, and just looking forward to it. So Alex Liberati, the Roman, who's back there right now, hosting the Grape Stomping. I love this, that we have on Facebook actually a camera. Is that our intern, Kenyon George, running around with the camera?
Georgie Boy's running around with a camera.
I like it.
Hey, man, I love it. I'll tell you what, that's something I've always wanted is somebody to go around with a camera,
That was a great idea that you had.
And let's be now all the great ideas are Greg's and yours, but and let's be honest, I can't have Dave do it, because Dave stops and he's eating, the next thing you know, he's showing a barrel for 10 minutes.
He's engaged with the party.
Richie Snyder joined the live stream. Richie, stop working, my friend. Come on down here. It's Liberati Restaurant and Brewery.
Right around the corner from Raquelitas Tortillas.
I know it is right down in Rhino, so we'll see Richard Snyder here shortly. And just a great night. We're going to talk to all of these great collaborators and Josh Nuremberg. We've also got Root Shoot Malting and Dan Galvani, something like that. And really, truly, it's going to be a great night. So we look forward to talking about this more. We're going to take a quick break from Liberati's and be back in a flash right here on the Modern Eater Show.
Choose your 350 here.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook for all the fun photos and videos. Just search The Modern Eater or check out the website, themoderneater.com.
Hi, I'm Charlie Gottenkenny, brewmaster at Brews Beers in Denver. Fall's finally here, and for me, that means it's time to cozy up to a Brews beer and get into some rich fall flavors. Belgian-style doubles, pumpkin spice brown ale, rich dark quadruples, and tasty triples are perfect for cooler weather. We make nothing but badass Belgian-style beers. Check out our social media reviews, then come in and see what everyone's talking about. We're at 67th and Pecos in North Denver, about 10 minutes north of downtown. With the holidays coming up, we'll soon be releasing some very special beers, including our famous Belgian-style champagne beer. Planning a holiday party or family get-together? Brews Beers has everything you need to make it a great event. Brews Beers, spelled B-R-U-Z, 1675 West 67th Avenue in Denver. Check us out at brewsbeers.com. We're dog-friendly with food trucks every day. So come on in and experience some Belgian-style badassery.
Hey, Colorado. This is Brian Freeman, owner of Growers Organic and a host on the Modern Eater Talk Show. Growers Organic is a Colorado sourcing company who provides Colorado's greatest chefs with the best organic produce. I've been partnering with local and regional farms for the last 20 years, and our returning customers know they can count on us over and over again. Chefs who receive the highest rating on Good Food 100 choose Growers Organic for their organic produce needs because we're experts at bridging the gap between the farm and the table. Join us in the organic revolution and go organic with Growers Organic. Look us up online at growersorganic.com.
Wear black and eat spices. Hey, Modern Eater listeners, this is Zach from The Spice Guy, Colorado's favorite spice company.
30 to the rejoin.
At The Spice Guy, we have a passion for sourcing the best ingredients from the best farmers all over the world. Choose from thousands of different GMO-free spices and ingredients, or let us create and blend custom flavor profiles for whatever style of food it is that you're working with. With over 1,000 restaurants, food brands, and chefs behind us, you can't go wrong when you choose The Spice Guy for all your spice needs. The Spice Guy.
Spicy.
Born in Breck, raised in
5.
SpiceGuyCo.com.
Hey, this is Brother Luck from Colorado Springs. All right, you ready? Owner of 4 by Brother Luck and Lucky Dumplings. I mean, he's a very, very impressive man. And you're rocking with the Modern
Going up.
Radio.
Oh, my G.
Oh, my double G. Are you serious? Tonight is so fun. Listen, if you're not seeing these remote cameras, jump onto Facebook Live. It's the Modern Eater.
Colorado Harvest Grape Stomp party tonight at Liberati Restaurant and Brewery, 25th and Champa Street. These folks are having fun, but why not? I mean, you've got the Anno beers, you've got the wine, you've got Josh Nuremberg and these special delicious delights.
The food. I just had some beet dish that he did.
And the grape stomping is really something I didn't anticipate to be so much fun, but you're right, Brian. You need to tune into our Facebook live stream and just see all that happen. I'm looking at our Facebook live stream, too, right now, and they're showing Josh Nuremberg's food and that beet tartare.
Oh, my God. Out of this world. It's got a little mustard. And it's got something sweet on the backside. And I'll tell you, it was just one of the tastiest things I've had tonight. We did have some very good oysters and some bacon-wrapped plums.
Hey,
at Liberati.
Jay, I'm looking at this stream, and we're looking at Alex Liberati right now as we await him to come over here, but he's busy shoveling grapes in. But didn't we tell the intern to turn the camera sideways?
That would be Dave's video.
That would be Dave's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Dave's video. And it's funny. I was like, "Hey, Dave," I said, "It looks like you're shooting that the wrong way." And he goes, it was something. There was NO beer, and then the light came down from this." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, don't question him. I wish I could do the same thing sometimes. Just say a zinger and then put the mic down. Jay's busy.
Well, that's my role.
Mark Whistler from The Goods is here. Heather. We've got Dan from Root Shoot Malting. We've got our intern George. We've got Josh Nuremberg. Gigi's here. A lot of people having fun in Liberati's, but this venue is delightful. And we've got some folks here in some hot pants as well.
No, those are definitely not hot pants. Those are some special leather pants. I like those.
I don't think they're leather. What qualifies as hot pants, Jay?
Man, hey, listen, it's different strokes for different folks. You know, your hot pants might be different from mine.
But no, what did you see the Halloween costumes? We had a couple a lamb. Wait, was that a wolf in sheep's clothing? Is that what she was trying to be? Did you see those?
I didn't see
because Halloween is coming up, folks, next week here. We are in the Rocky Mountain Mile High City.
Are we?
Denver, Colorado.
Amazing.
Coming at you live every Saturday night here on the Modern Eater.
Are you stretching?
Just out of left field. Freeman hits you with the Denver, Colorado. I love it.
The full moon.
Oh, that was on. I got that on Facebook.
Come around here, Mark Whistler. He's got to go. All right.
Mark Whistler from The Goods.
He did a mic drop, too. Did they get that?
I think that's going to be in there. I think that's going to be in there. I can't wait to check back.
Full moon over Liberati right now. It's an interesting night. Set the stage, Jay. Here we are in the brewery area.
So it's Liberati Restaurant and Brewery. And first of all, it's a beautiful restaurant and beautiful brewery. You know, a lot of times you go into a brewery / restaurant and they're, you know, small and it's crowded. This place is spacious. The patio goes on for miles. That doesn't help us tonight because it's a little cold. But you've got strangers stomping grapes together on one side of the brewery. You have Chef Josh Nurnberg from Grand Junction and Tacoparty and Bin 707 Food Bar putting out incredible Colorado food, and
What's
then you
he
have
cooking,
and then you
What's
have
he
the
cooking?
modern eater.
Wait, I think I see
right in the
Lisa
middle.
right now as we speak. Stomping grape.
She is. That's my boss right there. If you're tuned in, that's my boss.
I
right
thought I
there.
was your boss.
She told me, my whole life is full of people that just tell me what to do. She told me that she was excited. Now she was like, "Am I going to stomp grapes?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know if you're going to stomp grapes."
She looks like she's
But she
having
said
fun.
that she got a pedicure and she got all dialed
how
in
cute.
to get ready for it.
She's having a
Wait,
blast.
she's
Look
in
at
and
that.
out just like that.
Well, it's probably novelty for her. I don't think she's interested in making wine tonight. Maybe consuming a little bit.
I don't know if she knows that she's on our Facebook feed right now, but
She will when I work with her.
I love that. Hey, but I got to tell you, everyone here at Liberati's, downtown Denver, having a great time.
where are we again?
Downtown Denver.
I thought we were in the Rocky Mountains.
We're in the Rocky Mountains as well as downtown Denver. You got to love it.
Next week, back in the kitchen. That will be a fantastic thing as we're going to go through the holiday stretch. There's a couple of things that are on the horizon. And if you would like an experience like no other in Studio Kitchen, Colorado for a holiday party, we've decided to open up for the holidays for a very select few groups of people to be able to come in and have a delicious dinner.
I like this.
Featuring a chef that will serve and cook right in front of you.
Well, wait, here's the cool thing, folks, because rarely ever are you going to find a space where you can have any chef. And you also have a partner in the industry like the Modern Eater who can invite one of the chefs in our network. And so, as we all know, everything has a price. But the reality is that the Studio Kitchen Colorado, you could potentially have a top chef cooking for you and your friends a holiday dinner that you will never forget.
Yeah, right in front of you.
So, yeah, you got to check that out. But on top of that, Greg, I want to say, just so all of our listeners out there know, we have some big stuff in the works at Growers as well as the Modern Eater Kitchen, because we're not going to announce it tonight, but there is some stuff in the works that's going to blow your mind. It's going to be an experience to remember at Studio Kitchen, Colorado.
And let's just say it'll be hands-on and you'll be cooking.
Yes.
We'll teach you how to do it. Are you a good cook, Alex Liberati? He's like,
No. You'll be back. You'll be back. You'll be back. Jay is working on that. Look at the.
Well, I mean,
there you go. There you go.
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, if we're speaking about Roman classical traditional plates, yeah, pretty good. I mean, every Roman should be, otherwise you can't call yourself a Roman.
Can you look at Gigi
Look at the rest of
Youngblood and biker Jim Pittenger getting down in the grapes there.
Yeah, I love
I mean,
that.
that's what we wanted to happen here tonight,
totally.
isn't it?
Oh, this is fun, man. I mean, was it like something like 30, 40 people to actually stomp grapes. We stomped 750 pounds of grapes in close to an hour. That was quite amazing. And so, yeah, this beer is going to turn out really interesting. I really can't wait.
First of all, we've been tap dancing waiting for you, Alex.
I know you have.
Which is fine.
And believe me, I haven't been doodling in the corner. So, yeah, but.
Question.
Yes, sir.
What's an Eno beer?
I'm very happy that you asked that question. So, an Eno beer is a beer made with grapes. In the most simple of ways to put it, it's a beer made with grapes. If you want to elaborate a little bit more on it, it's a beer which is made with the processes of making wine, because you're using grapes, of course, and so you have to use those processes as well. I mean, think about it. Making wine's been going around for thousands of years, and they've perfectioned an art. You know, it's not this thing you just throw grapes in a beer and it becomes an Eno beer. You know, it's something that actually you have to craft in following the same procedures that you accortezze, not procedures, the attention that you do in winemaking. So, yes, it's not necessarily a beer which is aged in a wine barrel. I mean, an Eno beer can be that, but an Eno beer has to have grapes and has to have matter, and you have to deal with that. And so Yeah, we're actually trying to get it to be a classification, a beer style on the BJCP, so the Beer Judge Certification Program. So that's that.
So, but wait, tell me, Inno is Latin for something.
Enno means pertaining to wine.
Okay.
So, Enococcus, coccus bacteria, Enno pertaining to wine.
It's a
the
family
bacteria.
show here.
I know, believe me, but it is. It's the bacteria pertaining to wine, which actually grows on grapes and converts malic acid to lactic acid. Enology, for example, the science pertaining to wine. So, Enno beer, the beer pertaining to wine. So
someone would say, okay, you like that? Somebody would say. Somebody would say, I love beer and I love wine. I can't quite picture them together. Is the beer going to taste like beer or is the beer going to taste like wine?
And that's another really good point. Honestly, a lot of people think that what we do is we get beer and we get wine and we mix them together.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that doesn't sound good. Yeah.
But people like, oh my God, this is fantastic. What beer did you put in here? And you're like,
well, because that's not how you do it, though.
That's not
you got to
how you
tell
do
the people, Alex. How do you do it?
Well, you basically make a barley tea on one side, which is a cold wort, which is the first process of producing beer. Then you make must, as we've been making tonight, and then you combine the two and you co-ferment. So beer is fermentation of wort. Wine is fermentation of crushed grapes, so must. And so you basically, if you co-ferment them, you make a new beverage, which is Enno beer.
Describe what it tastes like.
It's a duck rabbit. So have you ever seen a duck rabbit?
Yeah.
When you look at it like that, it's a duck. You look at it the other way, it's a rabbit. It could be both. It has some wine traits. It has some beer traits. We have a Kolsch, which has 7% of Pinot Grigio grapes, and so it's really easy drinkable, and you have much more of a Kolsch character than a Pinot Grigio character, but there is a little acidity to it, just a mild acidity, exactly like you would expect in a Pinot Grigio wine. Instead, we have another beer which is made with 50% Malbec, and that Malbec really takes the stage, and it seems like more drinking a wine than a beer. And we can go even more and more with a beer that's 17.5% called Oxy Monster, which gets oxidized on purpose, very much like port does, or Madeira does. It gets Madeirized in a certain way. I don't know how to say that in English, but I'm making it up. So Madeirized in a certain way.
Say it in Italian.
Maderizzato.
I love it.
Isn't that easier? I mean, Maderizzato, Maderizzazione is the process, and so Maderizzato would be what, your product is. And basically, we feed it oxygen, and we oxidize it purposely so that we speed up the maturing time, and there's a lot of oxidative procedures that happen, basically reactions that happen, and create all these like rich plum flavors or ripe fruit flavors, which are typical of a port. So that is really like drinking a port.
Is it flat like wine or is it carbonated like beer?
Well, we don't say flat. We say still, actually. I've actually been corrected like that recently by someone. I'm like, come on. I'm a beer guy. I'm calling it flat. That's it.
Is flat sort of a diminishing
in the world
word?
of wine, apparently, yes. So basically what happens is that all wines have CO2. Even the still wines, they have CO2. And they have a very minimum amount of CO2 in there. Like around 80 ppm, so very, very small. But they do. And if they don't, they will be flat and flabby. Like this juice that you're drinking, which doesn't really carry all the taste. CO2 is kind of important, even in a still wine. So Enno beers can be super high carbonated. Think of champagnes, for example. Champagne have a way higher carbonation than beer. We're speaking about around 5 volumes, or even more. Bottles of champagne can get to 11 bar. 11 bar, just to get you an idea of how much that is 140 psi. And the tires of your car are at 32 psi. So that's the amount of gas that's in a champagne. But that sparkling really is necessary when you have something so full of alcohol, 12%, super dry, nice and acid. The only thing that really can blend that in is CO2. And so in the world of Enno beers, we go everywhere from still to champagne grade carbonation. So you get all the beer range, all the wine range, and
It's interesting you say that, Alex, because back in the day when I was a big champagne drinker around 2000. I would order it by the case. I loved it. And one of the things that I noticed was the size of the bubble.
Yep. Well, one of the reasons is that it's big sizes of bubbles generally. Well, especially when they're trying to race up. The reason is because obviously there's a much higher concentration of CO2 inside the liquid than there is in air. And so it's trying to escape much more vigorously. In doing so, it basically, when it starts from a nucleation point from the bottom, it grows because it collects all the CO2 until it gets to the surface. So fun stuff.
I love this.
Spitting that knowledge, Alex Liberati.
Well, if you're thinking about, for example, size of bubbles, think about like Guinness or stouts or nitro stouts, right? So nitrogen is in air, is much more present in air than CO2. So when we make a beer with nitrogen, that nitrogen doesn't really have to escape as much as CO2, and that's why the bubbles are so small, and that's why it creates that rippling effect in the Guinness, that it does that sort of a kind of, or not only Guinness, I mean in all the beers which are actually made in nitro. You get this kind of wave effect, and that's basically the weight of the liquid that's going down and the nitrogen which is trying to get up. But at the same time, the equilibrium is not the same as CO2, which wants to escape really fast. It's instead escaping slowly, and so it creates that sort of kind of
I learned
wave
more
effect.
in the last 3 minutes than I did all of my 11th grade.
I learned all this in 11th grade, actually. I was a very long 11th grade.
Well, there's where the disconnect was.
I love it.
Alex Liberati here with us, and what we do need to do is take a quick break. Alex, can we keep you? Of
course.
I know you're running around. Okay, we do have a quick break. Yes, you are here all night. Alex Liberati with us, Brian Freeman, Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, Kenyon George, our intern, Dave Ree, our sound guy, Rachel doing great work, Rachel Feinberg, she's here with us tonight as well. Everybody trying delicious Ono beer. We got the guys from Proud Souls over here.
Look at that.
Proud Souls, Root Shoot, Malting, which supplied all the malt here. We have copious amounts of for this beer. We have barrels from Mile High Spirit, where we're going to be aging some of this. Hey, how you doing?
They're here. Chris, Tony, the whole band.
I love it.
Bringing it back together. They're getting
Proud
their
Souls
glasses.
Barbecue. Look at that.
They're about to get in. Oh, he's flashy tonight. Okay, so I want to grab somebody that actually stomped grapes. Maybe we'll get Lisa. Maybe we'll get somebody else. I want to hear their experience for stomping grapes. It's probably self-explanatory, but I think it does something to your mindset when you jump in that bucket, Alex.
I absolutely agree.
I didn't see a frown on anybody's face, and it's an experience. You got to try it once in a lifetime.
I agree. They're kind of cold, but if you stomp vigorously, they're going to heat up. And so, it's farm life, man.
I love seeing you here in your element
it.
at Liberati Restaurant and Brewery, 25th and Champa, right here, heart of the Rhino District. A nice little party here, and we're going to build this up. This is the inaugural Colorado Harvest Grape Stomp party happening right here at Liberati's. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We're going to get somebody grape stomping, but we have so many cool elements to this collaboration. Josh Nuremberg here with us, Root Shoot Malting, Carlson Vineyards, where we got the grapes. We're going to talk to everybody, and it's going to be a great night here. Thanks for tuning in to the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Got a live in 245.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook for all the fun photos and videos. Just search The Modern Eater or check out the website, themoderneater.com.
It's Greg Hollenbeck. Anymore these days, when I go out to eat, I not only want to eat delicious food and drinks, but I also want to eat where I know my money is going to a local restaurant that I believe in. I believe in The Goods restaurant on Colfax and Mark Whistler. The Goods is a community restaurant and bar with a menu focusing on vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, and keto options. Comfort food lovers, try the best burger on planet Earth. I love it. 8 ounces of grass-fed beef and never, ever any hormones, antibiotics, or steroids. The Goods is truly a cultural melting pot, a family restaurant open to all. Their bar program is amazing. Saddle up at their long, luxurious bar, have a nice craft beer or a cocktail. Like their Facebook page and stay up on amazing events and specials going on throughout the week. Located on East Colfax, directly connected to the Tattered Cover Bookstore, across from East High School with free parking in a garage in back.
30 now.
Goodsrestaurant.com. I'll see you at the Goods.
Want to bake the best? Bake with the best. Little Rich here from Rockalitas Tortillas and the Modern Eater. Our wraps fold cold and don't break open, yet they're soft and delicious. What's my secret? Ardent Mills. Organic, ancient, and heirloom grains like quinoa, spelt, and more. Locally headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Ardent Mills provides the industry's broadest range of traditional and organic flours, whole grains, customized blends, and special.
10 to the live.
the culinary industry with the next grains and unique plant-based ingredients. I love Ardent.
5, you're going up.
Make the best. You must.
3, 2,
Ardent Milk.
go.
Back to the show in just a second, you guys. But before we do that, we want to talk about bread, and specifically bread that doesn't have preservatives, doesn't have artificial coloring, doesn't have any chemicals. That's Aspen Baking Company. I'm a huge bread guy. Freeman,
I love it. I love it. I love gluten.
I'm not a meat guy.
I love it.
I'm not a cheese guy. I'm a bread guy. And I want hoagies, focaccias, ciabattas, baguettes, croissants, bear claws, lobster rolls, pound cakes, coffee cakes. I also want... lunch
sandwiches.
I also want
Give it to me.
Box lunches. If you own a business like our friend Jim Pittenger and our friend Brian Freeman from Growers Organic, from time to time you may decide that you want to cater your employees and go out and get them some box lunches. If you want to do that, then you want AspenBaking.com. At AspenBaking.com, you find all your bread needs. They're local, no preservatives, no artificial coloring, no chemicals of any kind in their bread. I'm going to say their website one more time, and then we'll get back to Liberati. It's AspenBaking.com.
Hi, Michael Myers from... Yeah, you're clear. I'll say whatever. I wasn't clear at all. That'll get me in trouble. Write it like you stole it. Drink it like you... All right, you're going up. To the Modern Eater on iHeartRadio. You're live.
Okay, we're back on it right here at the Modern Eater Show and live from Liberati Restaurant and Brewery as I'm checking in on our Facebook feed. So many interesting things going on.
No, what's interesting is the new people that we have at the table right now, because it's Alex Liberati, Jim Pittenger, Biker Jim, as many of them know. I met this guy on the mall, 16th Street Mall, one of the roughest places in Denver, apparently.
16th Street Mall was fantastic.
I know.
That is where I learned that advertising really, really works. I'm working the mall. I see this guy come walking down the mall. This guy's obviously been homeless for a while. I mean, his beard is got twigs in it, long hair. His clothing was in tatters, and he's walking down the mall with a can of Axe body spray, just doing the big Axe thing all over. You knew that guy was going to get lucky. He knew he was going to get lucky. That kind of confidence can only come from inside.
I love it.
Wait,
I love it.
So who was the guy?
I have no idea. It was just,
this is just one of Jim's great stories.
Walking down the mall
with Axe body spray.
Well, and you know where Jim was, right? You know Jim's first place was right in front of the clock tower on the 16th Street Mall. Jim was pushing a cart, and I love the guy, but because I knew him deeper than that. I knew him from a place of cheesecake, which, oh boy, does that cheesecake just touch a special
I'm
spot
watching the
on me.
delay on Facebook when Jim was telling that story. I was like... My head was sideways.
Where is this going to go? Right?
Where are we going with this?
Thanks for bringing up the cheesecakes. I haven't made one in a couple of weeks.
Oh man, I'll tell you, boy, that is what, like, if there was a special time that you and I could spend alone together, it would be me, you, and a cheesecake, sweetheart. Just so you know.
Would you like to just make cheesecakes? Do you want me to, take you and teach you how to fish, my friend?
I've got some weird scars when I was 15.
We lost the show here.
Story.
Alert.
Welcome.
All right, turn Brian's mic off.
I did just check something off my bucket list.
Yes.
I never knew I wanted to stomp grapes until I got here today.
Wait, so you did do it?
I saw him do it.
You know, and so now
did you get a mani-pedi before you jumped in there?
I did get to step in a bucket of very cold water first, which was nice because it kind of tempered my feet for the chilled grapes.
I mean, Jim rode a Harley. He's like mani-pedi. What the heck are you talking about?
When you're biker Jim, that is a mani-pedi. That's a pedicure.
There weren't enough thorns, not enough thorns in the grapes for me to really feel that abrasion.
We thorned each grape one by one. Millions of grapes, but we did a good job.
That's right.
You did a fantastic job.
So, Jim, what brings you here today?
Well, I came here for a couple of reasons. One, to support Alex. You know, I'm so happy that this event was happening. It's going to be winter tomorrow, and today it was 70 degrees, and we got to have that feel of summer by coming in and stomping a bunch of beer wine grapes, which was a blast. Two, Josh Nerberg from Grand Junction. I worked with Josh all year with the Colorado 5, and most of the time I never had a chance to actually eat his food, as we're doing service the whole time. And so it was...
he's humble, folks. He says he works with Josh. This man and Josh went to one of the most sacred places in the food world. They went to the James Beard House together. I mean, that's a big deal.
A team,
come on.
There was a team. It was a big deal. It was
huge,
phenomenal.
Babe. I mean...
yeah, babe.
In New York, right? In New York.
In New York.
Yeah.
Just a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Wasn't
3
it like
weeks ago.
3
Yeah,
weeks
the
ago?
first of October.
Jim showed
we're
sides
cooking
of him that not many have seen, and he's a good man. You are a good man, Jim.
Thank you. I wash my hands frequently, and and I do enjoy what I do quite a bit. So
I hear the food was spectacular. What do you guys bring to the table?
there was. I mean, these chefs are amazing.
You are a
worked,
chef, my friend.
I worked very hard to try and keep up with these guys.
Okay.
So the dish
I like
that
it.
I brought basically a blatt cracker. It was a prosciutto cracker with lettuce emulsion. I made deep fried avocados, and I made tomato spheres using fun macro gastro.
Absolutely.
I used chemicals and took tomatoes and turned them into tomato-looking things.
Very much like
with no
Ferrer
tomato.
Adriano.
Like a
in
tomato
Spain,
caviar, right, my friend? I mean, is this what it is?
A
right?
little bigger than tomato caviar. So I made spheres about the size of a grape that were clear, but they tasted just like a fresh tomato. So it didn't look anything like a blatt. You pop it in your mouth, it tasted like a BLAT. That was super fun. And then I made
bacon, lettuce, tomato, and no avocado. You deep fried
avocado
that.
was on there. I deep fried the
Yeah,
avocado.
can you make them now for us, Jim?
Can I do it?
Can you make them now? We got another 20 minutes here, right?
Yeah,
Let me run home and get some
No, we have
calcium
a stock
lactate.
kit, Jim.
Yeah,
Sure, we could do that.
I also made chicken fried rabbit livers, and I have fallen in love with rabbit livers. Got them from our buddy Justin Brunson at River Bear.
Which means
Jane Levine.
that's Jane up there.
Jane
Oh,
Levine.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've been there.
They're amazing. They're so light that they have a little bit of a funky flavor to them that I enjoy very much, but not as harsh as chicken livers. And so all year with the Colorado 5, I've been threatening to make chicken fried steak. Finally, at the Beard House, I made chicken fried steak. So chicken fried rabbit livers, bone marrow polenta with an adobo sauce, and I learned a very important lesson. If you want to serve your dish in the bone marrow canoe, don't wait till the day of to clean the canoes, because that will take all day. So by the time I got done, I was a little nervous.
That must have
cooking
been
at the
a
Beard
rush,
House.
Mom.
See, now,
Timing.
Jay's not a big fan of the bone marrow.
It's beef,
but
beef
Jay
butter.
likes the bone.
It's just beef butter.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me just what it is, because that's what everybody. Well, it's just the bone. It's the the texture. It could taste like heaven on earth, which, by the way, I don't think it does. And I've had bone marrow that the chefs connected to the bone marrow are the best chefs on earth, and then I've had my cousin making bone marrow out of a car somewhere. So I've had both worlds of it, and in both worlds, it's the same thing to me, which is I don't even want to tell you what my brain does.
Manifold roasted bone marrow
like in a
bones.
little
That's
tin
perfect.
foil and on my 357.
It's just
We are making a beer with bone marrows. You might enjoy that.
well, listen, I don't drink alcohol.
Well, have you ever had risotto? You know
definitely-
risotto, right?
Risotto, of course I know what
very
risotto
good.
is.
So there is a local brewery called Spangalang. We're good friends. We
Yeah,
made
I
a
know
beer
Spangalang.
They're
called
here tonight. They're here
Risotto
tonight.
beers. Absolutely. We made a beer called Risotto before we opened, like 3 years ago, and it is made with acquarello rice from northern Italy, from Vigevano, and it's made with saffron. So Risotto Milanese is a typical plate from Milan, which is a very, very yellow rice, because obviously it's made with saffron. That was the time when basically they discovered that saffron could actually be good in cooking. It was before just used as a paint color, believe it or not. And it all came from this kind of court joke that at a wedding they spill this like kind of saffron inside the bride's risotto, and it was a hit. Everybody enjoyed it so much, and it was like of the Milan of the 1500s, of the aristocratic Milan, everybody was completely enjoying it. So it's become a plate, a historical traditional plate for us, and it's made also with bone marrow. So in that tank there, right next to the Modern Eater Show hyperlocal food and drink thing, is our risotto beer, which is probably going to be ready in a few weeks. And yeah, it's going to be quite interesting.
It's now my new favorite fat. I love to use bone marrow in mashed potatoes and risotto and polenta. cooking eggs, I made green chili. I had a little bit of frozen marrow left. I sauteed the pork in the bone
Because
marrow.
it gives that texture, doesn't it? That's a reason why we added to risotto as well. It's not too much for the flavor, but because the
binding
rice,
agent.
it's sort of not emulsify. How do you say it? Gelatinizes
it's a
it
little
even
bit
more.
of jelly.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know who would love
exactly.
you? It's collagen, folks. And you know who would love your guts out is our friend Carly Smith at the Fairy Godmother.
Hi, Carly.
Jay, come on.
Well, how about this? How about we take a break? When we come back, we're going to talk with Chef Josh Nuremberg from Bin 707 Food Bar and Taco Party in Grand Junction, who is doing a bang-up job right now. But he's on
Josh,
deck, so we
he
need to take
truly
a break.
is. Jim, what was it like jumping in those grapes, man?
It was like the best day of my life.
Do you have a smile on your face? Because I have to tell you that we have video of you and Gigi next to each other doing some sort of weird dance.
I think we were probably the main reason that this event happened.
I think
For
you
sure.
might
I
be
agree.
right.
That's it.
You gotta love Biker Jim
I love
Pittenger,
it.
and Biker Jim's Gourmet Dogs. Truly, if you haven't been to Biker Jim's, I think you don't live in the world.
No.
right?
If you haven't
Hey, Jim-
eaten one of Biker Jim's cheesecakes, you haven't lived.
Well, that's kind of a special treat, right?
Do you know
Well,
that
you know-
MSN.com named us the most famous restaurant
that's
in
what I was gonna
Colorado? That is some crazy stuff. For some crazy why.
Work hard
Name
to
brand.
get on this guy's good side because what he has to offer, nobody knows.
Nobody
You know?
knows.
Nobody knows.
All right,
And
back in a flash right here on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Choose your 4 minutes. Cyberland.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook for all the fun photos and videos. Just search The Modern Eater or check out the website, themoderneater.com.
Hey, it's Greg Hollenbach for Gluten-Free Things. Are you intolerant or sensitive to gluten? Or maybe you're a gluten-free lifestyler? Is your menu limited because you've eliminated gluten from your diet? Are you missing the taste of foods that traditionally contain gluten? What if I told you that you can add breads, pizzas, muffins, cakes, cookies, waffles, croissants, English muffins, the list goes on, right back to your menu? Gluten-Free Things is a local gluten-free and vegan bakery that reintroduces you to the foods you love. Owner John Irvin believes gluten-free shouldn't taste like the box that it's packaged in. Trust me when I tell you, the products from his bakery in Arvada are fresh, flavorful, and masterly crafted, leaving you with a product that tastes like the real thing. Simply delicious. The bakery is located in Arvada on 64th and Sims across the street from Arvada West High School. Check out their website at glutenfreethings.com. You'll be amazed with the variety of gluten-free products they make. And chefs, don't leave your gluten-free restaurant guests without options. Contact John at info@glutenfreethings.com. That's info@glutenfreethings.com to see what he can do for you. Give him a shot. 11651 West 64th Avenue in Arvada. It's Gluten-Free Things.
Hey, chef friends, it's Little Rich here from Raquelitas Tortillas. Raquelitas, known for hyper-local, innovative, and healthy tortillas and chips, served by Colorado's top chefs, and that's why we only use Colorado Mills sunflower oil. If you, too, want to serve the healthiest, most vibrant-tasting foods, you must use Colorado Mills. Colorado Mills is hyper-local, Colorado-grown, cold-pressed in Lamar, Colorado. Whether you bake, fry, or saute, get your Colorado Mills today. Available through Shamrock, Growers Organic, and Dawn Foods. For the best oil in the business, use Colorado Mills.
Hey, it's Chef Elon Wenzel, owner of Element Knife Company. If you cook, then you'll know the importance of a quality knife and proper care. My training in Japan exposed me to exceptional cutlery. That's why I am so excited to offer you the knives I fell in love with. Element Knife Company is chef-driven, and my goal is to support and educate. Get at me for a knife clinic or conversation. Find me at elementknife.com or by simply calling 303-460-4628. For the best knives in your kitchen, think Element Knife Company.
Listen up, barbecue lovers. Greg Hollenbach here for Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Proud Souls is Denver's authority of all things barbecue. Do you rule your neighborhood with the best backyard barbecue? From beginners to pit masters, Proud Souls has all the equipment you could possibly want. A variety of wood, pellet, and charcoal grills and smokers. Award-winning pit masters and owners of Proud Souls, Dan and Tony, have a passion for barbecue, and it shows. Located on 25th and Federal, Proud Souls retail store is bursting at the seams with your barbecuing essentials, the Spice Guy spices, and superior flavored fuels for your pit like hickory, mesquite, oak.
Looks like 30 to the rejoin.
maple, grape, and a variety of blends. Hit their website, ProudSoulsBBQ.com, for delicious hands-on barbecue classes and get information on current promotions and deals. For the best in barbecue, locally owned and operated on 25th and Federal, there are guys. Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. That's ProudSoulsBBQ.com.
Feed me now.
This is the Modern Eater Show.
Stand by.
And now it's time for...
Yeah, I was looking at that. The whole thing's just totally
Absolutely. I can readdress all the flows.
Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Award-winning competition cooks and purveyors of specialty barbecue supplies. Right here in Denver, Colorado. ProudSoulsBBQ.com.
Feed me all night long.
We got all night long. All night long. Hold that thought, Alex. Right there. We're in party mode, and why not? It's the Colorado Harvest Grape Stomping Party right here at Liberati Restaurant and Brewery. Jay Parker doing great work. We've got intern Kenyon George. We've got Dave Avery here. We've got Rachel Feinberg working really hard. A cast of and crew of thousands. Well, maybe 10.
Worth like thousands, though.
I know. Alex Liberati's here with us, rejoining, and Brian Freeman also have joining us, man, all the way from Grand Junction, Colorado. Here he is in Denver, Colorado. It's Chef Josh Nuremberg. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Well, man, welcome back. So, first of all, compliments to you for following crazy ideas.
Well, that's what we do.
Some of the best things in the world come from crazy ideas, right?
That's absolutely right.
But stemming all of us for our love for Colorado and the bounties that it has to offer, I mean, it seems to be endless. And
or de-stemming. I'm sorry, no pun. I mean, I had to do that.
You did have
sorry,
to do
man.
that.
I'm a grape dude.
Where do we begin? I mean, I'm calling this kind of a love story because our love for Colorado brings us together with like-mindedness. And as we ventured in Brian's Tahoe into Palisade and Grand Junction, Colorado, I don't know, about 2 months ago, stopped off, saw Josh, and Josh said, hey, listen, I've got some people. We're here for the wine festival. Well, you should probably meet our friend over there at Carlson Vineyards in Garrett. And we went and met Garrett, and we had dinner at Josh's place, and we did a live show there. And
that, I have to say, was one of the most amazing experiences. I'm not from Colorado, man. I came here a couple of years ago, but having dinner at Josh's was one of the most amazing experiences I've had here in Colorado.
It's stunning.
Mind-blowing.
I mean, and there's the introduction, Josh. We're all in love with you and your food, what you do. But moreover than that, just your thought process about Colorado scratch to table and being able to support other businesses around you.
Well, it's all community. We were just talking offline, but the whole reason that we come down here is just to be part of community and try to grow that community as much as possible. We're stomping grapes tonight that came from Carlson Vineyards that Garrett grew. My relationship with Garrett is because Garrett and I did a wine together that we sell at the restaurant. So to tell this, kind of full circle now doing the kickoff for the Ono beer that we'll be releasing in Grand Junction another year from now, it just continues to grow that as much as we can. But, with the cuisine, for us, it's looking at the ingredients that we have, looking at what we can work with, just trying to be representative of region. Colorado, call it Southwestern United States, call it, North American cuisine. Whatever that is, we're just trying to perpetuate that, use those ingredients, and show them off as best we can.
I give you Rocky Mountain cuisine, my friend.
Yeah.
I think we are special here because I think the mountain community, these people that have weathered the winter, there's something to be said about that because I'll tell you, it's a much different breed than I go down to Arizona, New Mexico, and these people think of winter is 75 degrees.
Or Northern California.
Well, no, it gets a little chilly up there, but I'll tell you, when you don't experience something that's dry and crisp like what Josh has in Grand Junction, because it's unique there. I mean, it's not, and there's places in New Mexico that I've been similar where it's cold, but it's not. There's not a lot of humidity. It's a crisp cold that I don't think many in the country could ever understand because you go over to the East Coast, it is wet, cold. It's not what we have. We have a very unique climate, I think, in Grand Junction and our little southern Rocky Mountain range.
I totally agree. I've been playing into that a little bit. The last couple of years, had the opportunity to cook in different states and actually a couple of different countries. whenever we go down to sea level and try to do the same food that we do in Grand Junction or in Denver, it's a lot more difficult because of humidity and everything else. We do have, it's dry climate, it's a different type of desert, it's different growing region, different growing seasons. All of those things contribute to flavor profiles. It also creates a challenge, but it gives us the ability to kind of differentiate ourselves and be unique, you know.
Well, I would ask, do you think it's interesting how something up here takes longer to actually cook? Because, it's like water boils at different temperature at 5,000 feet, but you're not at 5,000. You're even higher.
We're lower. We're
is
40,
Grand Junction?
yeah,
Okay.
We're like 4,500 feet. But I tell you what, whatever the weather you guys are having, we've got that extreme 10 degrees more. If it's 30 here, it's 20 there. If it's 100 here, it's 197 there.
Chef, you're not going anywhere. We need to take a break for the top of the hour. We're keeping you, that's for sure. Alex Liberati here with us. Liberati Restaurant and Brewery, 25th and Champa. Still time. Come on down and join us. Brian Freeman, Greg Hollenbach, Jay Parker. We're all here, and all's well in the world in the Rocky Mountains right now on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver.
ABC News. I'm Linda Lopez. Northern California wine country is bracing for a strong windstorm tonight, causing fears of the wildfires there spreading. 50,000 people are currently being told to evacuate from the area. California Governor Gavin Newsom in Napa County tells residents the next 72 hours are going to be challenging.
We're expecting significant increases in winds, gusts in some parts of our state, up 70, 75, by some estimates 80 miles an hour.
Nearly 1 million customers are having their power turned off by PG&E because of fears of more wildfires. A rare Saturday session today in the impeachment inquiry. 3 House committees heard testimony from Philip Rieker, Acting Assistant Secretary for European and Eurasian Affairs. Rieker just leaving Capitol Hill a short while ago after spending nearly 9 hours testifying. Rieker appeared for his testimony despite the White House ordering him not to. Republican Congressman Mark Meadows said Rieker did not give any evidence that would suggest an impeachable offense. This is ABC News. Australia's sacred Uluru has been permanently closed to climbers, but not before visitors gave it one last go.
My initial goal was to spend as much time on the rock as I could.
And James Martin did just that. The 38-year-old was the last person to climb the bright red monolith, once known as Ayers Rock, that now goes by the indigenous name Uluru. Friday marked the last day for those wanting to climb the site after a long legal battle from indigenous communities who consider the land sacred. Martin has a message for future generations.
The entire planet is for all of us to enjoy. The entire planet is for all of us to look after.
The Australian government gave ownership of Uluru back to the Ananju people in 1985. Todd Ant, ABC News.
Elton John has canceled his concert tonight in Indianapolis. John tweeted that he is, quote, extremely unwell, unquote, but gave no other details. He said the show is just postponed. He'll return to perform in March of 2020. The Indianapolis date is part of his Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. Linda Lopez, ABC News.
Message and data rates may apply. T&C and privacy terms can be found at bevel.com/terms. Please don't text and drive.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but you thought it'd be too hard or take too much time? Then try Babbel for free by texting EASY to 484848. In just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. And right now, you can try Babbel for free. Babbel starts out teaching you words and phrases by matching them with pictures. You won't believe how easy the interactive program is. Soon the sentences get a little bigger, and before you know it, you're having simulated conversations voiced by native speakers. And because Babbel is crafted by language experts and uses the spaced repetition method, in just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking the language of your choice with real confidence. With Babbel, you can speak a language. Just text EASY to 484848 and start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Download the Babbel app or text EASY to 484848 and try it for free. Text EASY to 484848.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Credit Karma. A big delay getting into downtown on northbound I-25. You start to see some stop-and-go, slow-and-go traffic right around the Lincoln Broadway exit, and that is because of an accident northbound I-25 at 23rd. Southbound 225 is delayed as well, making your approach to Yosemite. An accident there. Westbound C-470 just west of Quebec, a crash that is tying up traffic. as you come off of I-25. And I-25 is slow both directions through Larkspur. Tonight, rain and snow showers, a low of 26. Tomorrow, snow, possibly mixed with some freezing drizzle before 8 a.m. and then turning to snow, a high of 29. Currently, it's 67. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
Did you know indoor air can be 5 times dirtier than outdoor air? Hard to believe, right? And if you suffer from allergies or asthma, breathing clean air is not just important, it's essential. I'm Jaya Rao, co-founder of Molecule, makers of radically different air purifiers. Until now, the most common way to get cleaner air was with a HEPA filter. But outdated HEPA technology doesn't effectively remove bacteria and mold, which can make you sick. Molecule's revolutionary Pico technology doesn't just trap micropollutants, it actually destroys them. Molecule works so well, it made Time Magazine's list of
You got. It's okay. 90 seconds.
or small, there's a Molecule air purifier for you. Try it for 60 days risk-free and send it back if you're not satisfied. Plus, right now, when you visit molecule.com, spelled MOLEKULE, you'll save 10% with promo code FRESHAIR. That's promo code FRESHAIR. Don't collect pollutants. Destroy them with Molecule.
Americans are always on the move. They're in the car, at the office, working around the house. Americans refuse to sit still. So how do you connect with all of these?
1 minute.
Easy. With radio. Radio reaches 93% of Americans every week. More than Google, Facebook, even television. Because hey, who has the time to sit and watch TV? So when you want to connect with all those constantly moving adults, teens, and millennials, get to iHeartMedia.com and put AM/FM radio to work for your company.
How would some extra cash impact you? You've got 16 chances a day to win $1,000 on Denver's Talk Station. Just listen for the keyword to text every hour at 5 past the hour. It's the 16K a day giveaway, presented by Wind River Spas.
Wind River Spas aren't just made in Colorado, they're made for Colorado, with materials that won't fade or crack and installation that keeps heat in no matter what. Build and price yours at windriverspas.com. Wind River Spas, built in Colorado, for Colorado.
10.
Ahau.
An iHeart radio station.
The following is a paid advertisement. The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of KHOW, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
It's time for the second course, hour number 2 of the Modern Eater.
What are you hungry for?
Here's to a meal we're... All right, guys, you guys are going up. Nice and tasty.
Now we're getting to the good stuff.
With your hosts, Greg Hollenbeck, Jake Parker, and Brian Freeman.
All right, this may be a radio first right here, as we're broadcasting live from Liberati Restaurant and Brewery, Rhino District, 25th and Champa Street. The whole team's getting ready. Guess what we're going to do, Jay?
Well, I don't have to guess, but why don't you tell them?
We're going to grape stomp.
Stomp them up, baby.
I got to tell you.
Here's Dan.
We got
Galvani from Root Shoot Malting.
He's coming in.
Yeah, why don't we... Dan, sit down. Throw a headset on there, brother. And Dan and I will commentate about you guys stomping grapes, and we'll talk a little bit about Root Shoot Malting.
I'm going to leave my headset on here. Dan, I don't know if you know what you just walked into here.
You know what? If it's anything like the rest of my life on a regular basis, I'm probably not prepared, but I'm going to wing it.
Look, we got Connor on here with us, Dan's son.
Hey, Connor, can you say hi on the microphone?
Dan from Root Shoot Malting. Dan, how are you?
Doing well, Gray. How are you, man?
Oh, doing good, too. So here we are with this project to brew this delicious Anno beer. And apparently Root Shoot Malting said, we're crazy, too. Let's jump in on this project.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's that time of year. We're starting to wrap things up a little bit on the harvest up at the farm, and to have a food harvest party to go along with it. And obviously with the community that we're already a part of, it seems like a no-brainer. And I get to see you guys, so that's awesome, too.
I know. Usually we run into you at a brewery, right?
It's true. Or in the studio.
Yeah. That's true. We need to get you over to our new studio, Kitchen, Colorado.
Over here
we've got
Colfax,
a new studio.
Right?
It's on Federal and Fifth Avenue. Yeah, I think you'd like to see that.
I'd love to.
All right, so as we get set here to stomp some grapes, what we're going to do is, when was the last time you did play-by-play?
I don't know.
It's been a while? Probably never.
In the sense of?
You're going to call the shots on what we're doing, description-wise. You and Jay are going to talk about what we're doing over here. And it looks pretty interesting here as they're in the same bucket.
It's
Can you get a third in here?
It doesn't get more interesting than that.
All right, call it, Dan. What are you seeing here?
I'm seeing just a whole bunch of successful stomping. Those grapes never saw it coming. Why? I'm the play-by-play guy here. I don't know if you got the memo, but this is quite fantastic.
It's cold.
It is.
It's very the feet are cold, and
what variety of grape are we stomping this evening?
What variety of grape are we stomping, Mr. Alex?
It's Cabernet Doré.
Cabernet Doré.
From the west coast of the lovely state of Colorado.
Oui, oui.
Within the wall.
It's actually pretty refreshing.
You know, it's temperature-wise, you just got to let it adjust a little bit.
Did you do it?
Not today, but I have.
You have in the past.
And Connor's actually a part of the Italian festival's Little Feet Merlot.
Is that
right? So he
right?
got to stomp some grapes. Did you stomp grapes? Yeah. Yeah? Was that cool? Yeah. You like that?
Got Connor here doing the play-by.
So it looks like we've moved. Now everyone has their own individual. Nope, I take that back.
Goodness.
This is not going to end good. This is.
Oh, geez. That's an interesting.
Now we have everyone's back in their own designated buckets, stomping away and doing a wonderful job. Thankfully, there's a nice table.
I don't think there's a rhyme or a reason to how you do this.
No. I mean, if Lucille Ball can pull it off, it's free game.
Hey, it took a full hour of the show before Lucy came up, you know?
Look at that.
You just won a prize. You didn't know if somebody said Lucy?
I already feel like a winner, so how could that midnight get any better?
Dan, congratulations. You're old.
You know Lucille Ball.
Wait, did you see the fork in me, too? Apparently I'm done.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let me just say, as somebody that is watching this right now, it's almost something, Dan, that you have to consume some of this product beforehand to be able to be one of those people in a bucket. And I'm a sober guy, and so you're not going to get me in there any way, shape, or form. You would actually have to pay me. There would have to be a bribe involved. It couldn't just be for fun.
It's true, and the surprising about that, Jay, you're not in the camp by yourself. I definitely am there with you.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
And I was.
So you don't mind the commentating with me during this, right?
Not at all. Not at all. And I've even had a few to drink too, and I still don't find any convincing in the world.
Yeah. I don't like to take any of my clothes off when I'm outside of the home, and that goes with shoes or shirt or hat. I don't even like to get my hat off all the way. So to be barefoot and stomping grapes, man, it's just not for me. Just not my thing.
Well, you know, and luckily and thankfully there seem to be a lot of people who don't have the same opinion as us. And what do we have? 3 or 4 rotations of at least 5 people in different buckets?
Yeah, no.
So we all sanitize our feet. I will tell you the strictest of
for some reason that just
sanitation.
I just don't care about that. Dan,
well, wait. I'm going to boil it, and you've eaten. Listen, I'll tell you. Look on the back of every can of protein you've ever eaten, because it talks about what USDA allowances are.
The voice
and the voice of Organic Freeman over here is telling you.
Yeah, to really date myself, I remember the jungle?
Oh, yes, I do. Upton Sinclair, man. My friend, one sledgehammer at a time.
Dan,
Jay, you were saying.
Before we run out of time, why don't you tell us about Root Shoot Malting and your relationship here with Liberati Restaurant and Brewery?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of the show and letting Root Shoot be a part of this awesome project. So Root Shoot Malting, we are a small family farm that goes back 5 generations with the Olander family. And they were barley growers for Coors for about 30 years, and small commodity farm that decided to innovate, as a lot of these smaller farms are, where instead of just taking the harvest and taking whatever the commodity price was dictating, they built infrastructure, and we now take our own barley, we malt it, and then self-distribute it. So we have a good, solid relationship with over 100 different breweries, 20 different distilleries where we're offering malted products, raw products, and a few other points in between. And with just like Liberati's and just like the Modern Eater, you know, we're all really much a part of a community here. And Alex uses a lot of our malted grains for the barley portion of his Eno beers. And we are thrilled to be a part of all of the wonderful things that come out of Liberati's, as well as all of our other partners. And yeah, man, Colorado's kind of a good place to be in the craft beer scene.
100 breweries, that's a lot of I mean, can you even take on any more stuff? I mean, what is that in perspective of product? Like, how much product is going out to 100 breweries here in Colorado?
Certainly. Yeah, no, and that's a great question. Yeah, we have a compact malt house where we have a drum malter that we do our germination, and it's also our kiln, and it puts out about 20,000 pounds per rotation. We have 2 of those vessels, so we're producing, if we were able to say 48 weeks of production, about 2 million pounds of grain. Wow. And with the allotment and with all of the accounts that we have, we're probably somewhere around that 90 percentile of product that's spoken for. So it's really, really nice because it helps, you know, to sell your product and pay your bills. And then just everyone that we're working with seems to be using us more regularly, more frequently, and expanding what they originally started using us for and what they rely on us today for. So it's a good place to be.
You know, it's an interesting thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when was the last time you had the opportunity to collaborate with a winemaker such as Carlson Vineyards and with grapes? That crossover is really unique.
Yeah, no, and it's this is definitely our first time, but you know, it's been great because you know the Olanders never had any thought of the distilling market and was 100% focused on the brewing, and then realized, oh, there's about 80 distilleries in the state of Colorado that are using raw corn, raw rye, barley, wheat, and the malting capabilities and capacity definitely has its limitations. But on the raw side, when it comes to grain distribution, if you have more clients coming on board, you just plant more corn.
That's right. Dan,
I love to hear that.
Beforehand, Dan comes in, he's like, oh, well, I've got to behave myself, and I don't know, you know, radio. Dan, you've been the highlight of the show so far. You come in, you do the play-by-play, great stuff, root shoot malting. You guys are so classy. And, again, the Olanders, I wish Emily could have been here tonight. Those guys are great.
They really are.
I mean, truly a family that respects and loves Colorado as much as we do as well. But to see family farms, that I call it the pivot point, to where you're like, okay, well, what do we do? Okay, we can do this. And embracing the brewing community and working with 100 breweries. Are there some names that you can just shout out with some folks that you work with? Because
Sure, yeah. I mean,
Brews Beers is one of them.
Yep, Brews Beers. If you take just the local, you know, going from Liberati's, we've got Woods Boss, we've got Jagged Mountain, True Brewing, Spangalang, we've got Mockery, OMF, our mutual friend, just to name a few of them. We've got a number of the breweries up in the Loveland area that we work with.
Well, wait, flip the switch. Please. Go to the distillers that you're working with.
The distillers is actually a great story because, you know, the distillers is really taking off where I would say maybe there isn't necessarily a saturation level at 400 distilleries as there is breweries, but there's very much a movement happening in the distillation, which is similar to what happened 10 years ago in the craft brewing. One of the largest manufacturers here in the state of Colorado, Breckenridge Distillery, just launched a massive, they have a continuation still that does 30,000 gallons, and we are supplying them with corn, rye, malted grains for their bourbon, and then also they're doing single malts. Just locally here, the Block Distilling, there's Family Jones, there's Elkins up in Estes Park, just to name a few as well. And yeah, it's really quite unique because every single one of our brewers has a brewer is a chef. A distiller is a chef. There's ingredients. Where are you sourcing them? What's the terroir? What are the natural flavors coming from the soils that they're grown in? Yeah. And taking those and manifesting and following styles that have been traditionally around for thousands of years and then putting in a little modern twist on it. brewers and distillers are both doing that same kind of practice. And, as obviously as we have the winemakers of our western slope and the beautiful grapes that are being grown there.
Yeah, hello, Garrett Portra.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, hey.
Yeah,
Sorry, my peripheral wasn't working.
No, you're good. Oh, hey, there he is. What time is it, Jay?
7:18. Time to take a break.
7:18. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Can you stick around a couple more minutes, Dan? No,
You know what? Let's
gotta
see
hit
what
the
we
road.
can do. I might have to. I was
Dan,
just
hit
told
the
by
road.
my
get
speech
it.
coach that I had to stop talking. So
I understand. So formal thank you to you and this project. So we will expect you back in Grand Junction about a year from now for dinner at Bin 707 with Josh Nurberg for the release of this Ono beer.
fantastic.
That'd be great.
I've already made a reservation.
Dan,
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Dan Root Shoot Malting, class act. I mean, truly, these are the guys that you want to do business with. We have a lot of breweries, distilleries that listen to the show. If you've ever had a thought of just contacting somebody to find out more information of what you can do to go Colorado, Dan be happy to give you that information. Do you have an email, Dan?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's just dan@rootshootmalting.com, DAN, rootshootmalting.com. But no, guys, it's definitely my honor, my pleasure to continue the relationship with what you guys are doing and really, reaching out and being a part of the audience that you guys connect with every single, weekly, monthly, weekly, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. It's all community, man.
Well, and
It's
if
a
you're
lot
in
of fun.
Colorado, check them out, rootshoots.com.
Yes, sir.
You got to love it.
Rootshootmalting.com?
Rootshootmalting.com.
There it is,
Root Shoot Malt. Thank you.
rootshootmalting.com. No sweat. Okay, back in the flash. We'll come back with Carlson Vineyards and Garrett Portra right here on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Alive in 2:15.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook for all the fun photos and videos. Just search The Modern Eater or check out the website, themoderneater.com.
Message and data rates may apply. T&C and privacy terms can be found at bevel.com/terms. Please don't text and drive.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but you thought it'd be too hard or take too much time? Then try Babbel for free by texting EASY to 484848. In just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. And right now, you can try Babbel for free. Babbel starts out teaching you words and phrases by matching them with pictures. You won't believe how easy the interactive program is. Soon the sentences get a little bigger, and before you know it, you're having simulated conversations voiced by native speakers. And because Babbel is crafted by language experts and uses the spaced repetition method, in just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking the language of your choice with real confidence. With Babbel, you can speak a language. Just text EASY to 484848 and start your first lesson in the language of your choice for free. Download the Babbel app or text EASY to 484848 and try it for free. Text EASY to 484848.
Hey, you guys, Jay Parker here for Encore Energy. How much are you paying for your natural gas? Wouldn't you like to save 10 to 20% on your natural gas bill? Of course you would. You're not crazy. Encore Energy and Brian Rizzuto can do just that, save you money. Give Brian a call, 720-245-5771. Maybe you own a restaurant or a brewery and use a ton of natural gas. This is how you save money. Get a free savings review from Brian Rizzuto and Encore Energy. Call Brian at 720-230-771. Save 10 to 20% on your natural gas bill right now.
Rocker Spirits. It's a distillery. It's a place to hang. It's about quality. It's about taste. It's about passion. Infused with American spirit. Rocker whiskey, rocker rum, rocker vodka. Get ready for an original look, feel, and experience. Old Town Littleton. And if you get hungry
10
on some drinks, they've got the best food truck line in town. Open Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
5.
Spirits.com. Rocker Spirit.
You are up.
Okay, back to the Colorado Harvest Grape Stomp party in just a minute at Liberati Restaurant and Brewery. But right now, it's Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions time. Who's Jeff Rourke? Jeff Rourke is the man about town installing tap installations, special just for you. He does maintenance as well. There's a lot of times that you've got the wheels falling off of your tap lines in your restaurant, your bar,
Just
your
fix
brewery.
it. Just fix it. Just fix it is all I can say there.
It's going to make you look better. It's going to make you more profitable. Foam is money, and if you're pouring foam and you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing, boys?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Don't pour your money down the drain. It's an easy phone call away. Truly, Jeff Rourke, you want an add-a-line? He can do it, no problem. Water, wine, nitro.
Wait, what if I want to add 112 lines?
He can do it. And actually, there's a new project in Central City with Monarch Hotel and Casino. Jay and I took a little tour. It was pretty impressive. For a guy to run a glycol line almost like the length of Mile High Stadium.
That's a big deal.
You want to keep your beer fresh, cold, and consumable, just like the brewery intended it to taste. 720-272-3809.
What's the number again?
720-272-3809. Give him a call. It's Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions.
Yo, what's up? Bronson Ultra Meat and Cheese in Denver Central Market. I'm a meat guy. And you're listening to the Modern
Up and on.
Heart Radio.
Yes, okay, this is a cool one, Brian. Back at it, Greg Hollenbach, Brian Freeman, Jay Parker, all's well in the world at Liberati Restaurant and Brewery. This collaboration is taking place right now. It was a crazy thing, and we love crazy people because when we call up crazy people with crazy ideas, usually crazy people say, okay, I'm in. And this gentleman said, I'm in, and there he is, the crazy man himself, Garrett Portra, Carlson Vineyards in Palisade, Colorado, joins us on the Modern Eater Show. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I mean, are you crazy or are you just lonely or what? I mean, a little of both.
It probably depends on who you talk to. If you talk to me, I think I'm just maybe a little crazy. Talk to my wife, I'm a lot crazy. So, yeah. Always up for a new challenge or a new project.
Well, it was interesting because we called you out of the blue, and it's one of those things. I hear these guys from Denver calling me and, you have grapes, and we've got this idea. We're coming into town for the wine festival. First of all, first blush, what did you think when we called you up to say, you want to be a part of this madness down here in Denver?
Well, I mean, the good part for me was that I got a heads up from Josh, from Ben, which usually if Josh calls, I tend to say yes. But yeah, then the more I looked into the project and the beer, I'm not familiar with it at all, but it sounded super exciting, super interesting, so it was fun to be part of.
Well, what's
cool? Well, no, I got to say, hey, here's this crazy Italian guy born in Rome, bred right here. Yeah,
I thought he was from Alabama.
Born in Alabama. Yeah,
Alabama, Rome.
That's true.
And that's one thing he can't pull off is a good old Southern accent. But my friend Alex Liberati here.
Alex rejoins us.
It's different, but yeah.
And think about it, Garrett. This is an untouched market for you. Kind of with grapes, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's completely, it's a brand new thing for us, and I mean, it fits in with our deal. We do fruit wines, we do grape wines, we do all kinds of off the wall kind of stuff anyway. So yeah, it was a cool market and a cool idea. I've had a few of the beers tonight and just loved them.
Before we dig in on the collaboration, sorry, Alex, just talk a little bit about Carlson Vineyards.
Sure. Yeah, Carlson Vineyards is the third oldest winery in the state. It was started by Parker and Mary Carlson back in 1988. I went to work there in 2008, I believe, and then we bought the wine. My wife and I bought the winery from Parker and Mary in 2015. So every October 1st, I say we pop a bottle of champagne to celebrate not going broke in one more year.
And I wish she was here because truly your wife is such a gem. And what you guys have created, she loves you, man.
She proved it this week. I had a 3-year-old in jammies and pack boots out in the vineyard picking grapes with me. So.
Let's talk about that.
And she wasn't ready to deliver at all.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Okay, so here we are. I don't know, where was it? September, late September?
Yeah, it was like September 18th, I think, because it was Winefest weekend.
Okay, so September 18th. We're in Palisade, Colorado, and here's Alex Liberati, Brian Freeman, myself. We go into and we want to take a look around. That's it. Just let's take a look around. Take a look around, and we're seeing just palatial. The views are magnificent. We're on the property. We're looking at all of these varieties of grapes. We're walking around. We're shooting the breeze. It comes to the point of where it's like, okay, well, why are you here? Well, we're here for a reason. Why were we there, Alex?
Well, I mean, we were there for many reasons. To meet definitely Josh and see cover what he was doing. But the wine festival was amazing. But you know what? It was also a learning experience. It was one of those things that for me, it was my first real strong dive in the world of winemaking in Colorado. And that event was a little bit of a, showcase of that. So I have to say,
were you disappointed?
Garrett, well, wait a second. I got to say, Garrett, that, you grow some really unique varietals. results. You are there trying to figure out what the best varietals work. You really are putting all yourself and your knowledge into creating a new Colorado, perfect for Colorado wine. Not just content and going for the Chardonnay, the Cab Sauv, that honestly enough might not even grow too well here, but they sell great because it's Chardonnay. And so you're like, you know what, I'm not going to go that path. I'm going to go on the long path. And I've been surprised to learn how it works here in Colorado. So some people might say that many wineries here are just buying grapes from the same grower, or they're really just a canteen more than a winemaker, and they're really not doing the real noble path, not going the real noble path. You are. And my question is, how do you feel about that?
Sure. I mean, I think it kind of reflects on the age of our industry. You know, like, we're the third oldest winery in the state, and we started in 1988. And so I think a lot of people kind of start that way, is trying to figure out what's going on. I think it goes back to the varieties as well. I think there's a lot of varieties that are being grown mainly because it's what people like to have. And now we're starting, I think in the next, even it started already, but I think the next 10 years it's going to get more and more and more that vines are going to be pulled and replanted with 30 years of knowledge that we can start putting into the varieties that actually work well, if that makes sense.
Well, wait, Garrett, will you pull them, or will you just cut them and graph them?
Well, I mean, it's common knowledge now that phylloxera has hit Western Slope, which is one of those things that, you know, in the beginning people were really, really scared. As like a new guy to the industry, I was somewhat excited for that reason. Like, so we'll have to pull them. We'll pull them and put them on graft rootstock that it's phylloxera resistant.
Can you talk like I don't know what you're saying, because I don't know what you're saying?
He doesn't know what phylloxera is.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, phylloxera is a root louse. It hit, you know, it almost just decimated the French industry. It almost knocked them completely out of business. And people like to say that the U.S. rootstock saved the French industry, but I mean, really, it was the U.S. rootstock heading over there that brought them phylloxera in the first place.
True, but it's also more resistant.
It is.
In France, this phylloxera is a parasite, right? It lives inside
in the soils.
In the soil, right? You know, so basically it tampers with the possibility of the vine to get everything from the soil that it should, and so basically it dies. And can you imagine, like, over the span of a year, 70%, 80%, 90% of all European production was crippled by this. They didn't know what to do. And yes, it's true. The American stock was probably the one that brought it over here, but because phylloxera was already here, the American rootstock, so the base of the plant, is the most resistant. So what happens these days?
How in the heck did we give it a name? And whoa, I just take 10 steps back because I'm an organic guy.
Sure.
And all of a sudden this was created in the new world, right? I mean, this was not something, they've been growing grapes for what, 10 years, 20 years?
You mean in the old
come on now. I mean, you see where I'm going here.
Well, it's just
I'm begging you for this answer,
I mean, biodiversity, the reason why the Galapagos has so much of the biodiversity, because it's its own ecosystem, and also the North America, it's its own ecosystem. So the rootstock has been able to, the phylloxera has been around for millions of years, and the rootstock has been able to evolve to not resist it, as you were pointing out before, but being much more
symbiotic. It's almost parasitic in the sense that the American rootstock will live kind of with these phylloxera eating off their roots. They've learned to adapt to where they'll still thrive even though phylloxera is present. And so really almost all the major wine regions in the world have gone through it and now are on, you know, a grafted root system that now they've actually, a lot of them, it can knock you back. We're lucky in the sense in Colorado because we have sandy soils, which really slow down the spread of phylloxera, even can stop it in some cases because the bugs just can't make it through that soil, so they can't expand farther.
Because if it's too much, even with an American rootstock, if your infestation is too much, you're going to die, right? So basically what happens is that the Europeans figured out that grapevines have this unique quality that you can cut the rootstock and you can graft another varietal on top of it, and you can make this sort of Frankenstein plant. Now, all vines in the world, apart from some places in South Africa,
I think
probably
Switzerland maybe has a few, but
because of the altitude, but all of them are all this like kind of mixed, and so obviously it's an important thing. But can I ask you a question? How many people, how many actual grape growers are there in Colorado, opposed to like canteens, winemakers?
That's a good question. I know that there's probably, five or six of the main growers that grow the vast majority of the grapes, and then there's, as far as numbers go, I'm not 100% sure, but there's
hundreds.
I think there's only 170 wineries total, so I would say less than 100 people growing grapes.
Maybe 2%.
And you've talked about the resiliency of grapes in general. And when we were there, and the climate is indicative to needing that resiliency as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our biggest determining factor in the Western Slope is winter temperatures. So when you've seen any kind of event that's happened to our industry that's been devastating, it's always been a winter freeze. So we're right on the edge. Cab Franc or Riesling do very, very well because they have just a touch more cold hardiness than some of the other vinifera. But that being said, we're on our third harvest in a row that has been, record harvest. I mean, we've had more grapes the last 3 years than since I've been in the industry, but from what I've been told since ever. I mean, the 3 last years have been big harvests.
But there's also a particular variety that you grow. It's called Lagrange, is it?
Lemberger,
sorry. Yeah.
You made it sound a lot sexier, Alex.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. But that Lamberger is an amazing. You make a wine just with Lamberger, don't you?
Yeah.
Lamberger.
Yeah.
Lamberger sounds like a lamb.
Well, when you say it, yes.
I had a professor at Washington State that's what he used to say is Lemberger's made for lamb. So maybe that's the new maybe it's a new marketing concept.
Garrett, you told me a quote that really shocked me because I'm a guy who's all about the terroir and all about the soil. What you said is that, Brian, there is someone famous who once said about, give me the hardest soil in the world to grow, and that's where I want to put my grapes.
Yeah, so that's what, I think I was talking about Christophe Barron from Cayuse. He's Cayuse up in Walla Walla. He's actually in Oregon area, but he has a Cayuse winery, and that's what he always used to say, that his grandpa would always tell him, if anything else will grow there, don't plant grapes. Use it for something else. But you want to plant grapes where they want to be, they have to work, and it concentrates the flavors and makes for a better end product. Because wines are made in the vineyard. I mean, it's like most things. Even a great chef works with the ingredients he's given, and so it's
like that one.
Well, it's funny. He said wines are made in the vineyard, and only 2% of winemakers in Colorado, of canteens, or of wine producers or bottlers, actually have
I would say
a vine, a place where they're actually growing it. Doesn't that make you think? I mean, speaking about hyper local,
and I wouldn't say it's 2%, but I know it's not a large percent. And that being said, I mean, even for us, we grow as much as we can, and we buy from about 4 miles from around our area. We have one grower that we buy pretty much everything they grow, and that gives us some say in how things are done. I think it's changing. Like, I think there's more and more people are, even if they don't own the property, they're wanting to do a acreage contract to where they can go walk the vineyard and see how things are being done and have input on that.
Oblige me for just a second. I know we're up against the break. I'll set this up. We'll come back and we'll answer the question right here from Liberati Restaurant and Brewery in Rhino District, 25th and Champa. Come on down and see us tonight.
Denver, Colorado.
The thought is that this year it struck me as funny, Brian. We had this real freeze about a month ago here in Colorado. It didn't seem like we really had a fall. The leaves on the trees right now
were quick. Remember, we were
brown
pushed back.
And they're ugly and they're dying, and we didn't really have that true autumn to where we had that gradual change. And I look at that in the colors of the leaves of the trees. Right now, it's an interesting thing in Colorado, and I think farming in general. But you were faced, Garrett, with some interesting things, and I think yearly it's different. There's no map that's laid out for you on what day do you harvest. I want to talk about harvest, climate. I always hate to bring the conversation into climate change because I think we're always constantly changing. But
why does Brian always talk about the weather?
But we can do that. Let's come back and talk about what we faced with just these grapes alone, your obstacles that you have to go through in order to harvest these grapes and the timing that it takes. I think it's a very interesting conversation. If you'll oblige me, we'll come back and answer that question right here on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Shoes clear. 4 minutes.
Cyberland. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook for all the fun photos and videos. Just search The Modern Eater or check out the website, themoderneater.com.
Hi, my name's Christina Stumble, and I own Farm Girl Flowers in San Francisco. With my Spark Cash Card from Capital One, I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all my business purchases. Last year, I redeemed $115,000 in cash back. Yeah, $115,000. And that doubled our digital marketing budget for the summer. Thanks to my Spark Card, we had our best summer yet. Imagine what the Spark Card from Capital One could do for your business. What's in your wallet?
Real Capital One customers pay for real stories. Credit approval required.
Hi there, saver. Looking for a Medicare plan to help you save on more than just prescriptions? Medicare Advantage plans may offer prescription drug, medical, and hospital coverage. Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many Medicare Advantage plans, including United Healthcare. So, when you enroll in a plan with Walgreens as your preferred pharmacy, you know you're saving smartly. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Other plans may be accepted.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The Modern Eater loves Rome sausage, and I know you will too.
Wear black and eat spices. Hey, Modern Eater listeners, this is Zach from The Spice.
We're looking at about 190 to the rejoin.
At The Spice?
Yep.
And for sourcing the best ingredients from the best farmers all over the world. Choose from thousands of different GMO-free spices and ingredients. Or let us create and blend custom flavor profiles for whatever style of food it is that you're working with. With over 1,000 restaurants, food brands, and chefs behind us, you can't go wrong when you choose the Spice Guy for all your spice needs. The Spice Guy.
Spicy.
Born in Breck, raised in Denver.
TheSpiceGuyCo.com.
Listen up, barbecue lovers. Greg Hollenbach here for Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Proud Souls is Denver's authority of all things barbecue. Do you rule your neighborhood with the best backyard barbecue? From beginners to pit masters, Proud Souls has all the equipment you could possibly want. A variety of wood, pellet, and charcoal grills and smokers. Award-winning pit masters and owners of Proud Souls, Dan and Tony, have a passion.
30.
And it shows. Located on 25th and Federal, Proud Souls retail store is bursting at the seams with your barbecuing essentials, the Spice Guy spices, and superior flavored fuels for your pit like hickory, mesquite, oak, pecan, cherry, apple, peach, maple, grape, and a variety of blends. Hit their website, ProudSoulsBBQ.com, for delicious hands-on barbecue classes and get information on current promotions and deals. For the best in barbecue, locally owned and operated on 25th and Federal, there are guys. Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Here we go. SoulsBBQ.com.
Hi, this is Lorraine Midson. I'm a food hack, a.k.a. food writer. I was just told that I could put my lines, and you're listening to the Modern Eater Show on
Isn't that a
Going
button?
up.
A button? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we're back. Liberati Restaurant and Brewery. Colorado Grape Stomp Party, Colorado Harvest Grape Stomp Party. This has been a success, and we can't wait to share all of this because what comes out of this is a Anno beer that's going to blow your mind, and it's a Colorado Anno beer, which will make it taste that much better just because of all the story that we're building here. And as we continue, Brian Freeman's he's off running around doing something. Little Rich Snyder comes into the house here. Little Rich is here. And Garrett Portra rejoins myself and Alex Liberati, and we're just talking about, I wanted to just talk to you, farming, first of all. What a crazy industry that is. but year-round. Here in Denver, I saw a big freeze come in, and, you know, it was 80 degrees the day before, and I remember this vividly, and I've lived here for 47 years, so I know it like the back of my hand year to year of what we're going to expect. It was one of those freezes, and I worry for the trees. I worry for all the beloved growth that we have here in Denver. It's 80 degrees one day, the next day it's freezing cold, snowing.
Branches are breaking.
Never gave a chance for autumn to really kick in, that gradual. But that did something to you there in Palisade to where it was the hustle. The hustle was on. What happens when things start freezing or the weather's a little bit different or you've got something scheduled to pick the grapes? What's that like? Just give us an inside look.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything in I was fortunate, and I grew up in agriculture in general, so you learn real quick that if you can't worry about the weather because you'll be worried nonstop. But you're definitely got to be mobile and try new things. So, I mean, this year we got, I think, 6 varieties, and it was probably 15 or 20 tons all at one time because we had to beat a freeze coming. Because once the freeze hits, the initial concern was that it would get cold enough to rupture the grapes themselves, which at that point, harvest is over. The quality, you just can't do anything to save it.
What do you do, dumpster?
Pretty much, drop them off, let them fertilize your fields. But, you know, we were fortunate in that it didn't get cold enough to rupture that, but it did stop. It did, you know, kill the leaves, stop growing cycles. So at that point, then it's just a race to get them off the vines. Like I said, I was telling you just a second ago that I'm sleeping in my house tonight because I got 10 tons of Lemberger to dig out tomorrow. And the main reason is because the way those grapes came in, and, you know, luckily, knock on wood, we had really healthy ferments, but they're all getting dry at the same time. So I have probably a little over 40 tons of grapes in the next 3 or 4 days. We need to get out of a tank and through a press and on to the next process. So.
Do you guys ever make any raisins?
Try not to. I haven't found a market for it.
You know there's a problem if he is making raisins.
Yeah, exactly.
And Garrett's really complaining about those 10 tons. But for him, let's talk reason. It's a button. He presses a button, and it goes out into a press.
Exactly.
Can you tell us more about what that entails? 10 tons.
10 tons. Yeah, so 10 tons. I mean, tomorrow, Justin, one of my assistant winemakers, and I will pump all the wine at this point. It's basically dry. We'll pump all that off through the press, sieve out as much of the solid material as we can. Then it's a fight to get the front door off the tank. And after that, it's you grab the shovels, and one guy's shoveling them out of the tank, and the other guy's shoveling it into the press.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of matter that are all still a little bit drippy in a certain way. You know, they get you all like covered in red and drippiness. You know, I mean, and that's kind of crazy. You would see that.
When we bought the winery in I guess in 2014, the Grand Junction Sentinel showed up to take our picture, and nobody told me, and they showed up on a dig out day, so they kind of put me in the back, but I had a friend called and said he thought I slaughtered a goat.
Yeah. Now, you're in agriculture, but you didn't get into this thinking it was all wine and cheese, right? You were just going to...
Yeah. I always tell people it's like hashtag romance of winemaking.
What did it take for you to get us these grapes here today?
You know, it took a very loving, understanding wife.
Let's give her the proper
absolutely,
shout out.
Kaylin Portra, my loving wife. Actually, because of the freeze, and we were in a scramble to find grapes. You know, we still wanted quality fruit because we wanted it to be a quality Colorado beer. So we were in a scramble, and I was, finding grapes that had withstood the freeze. And because of that, literally, we were picking grapes right up to the time the truck showed up. One by one.
And it was her birthday.
It was her 21st birthday. We're going to go with that.
Good man.
She's going to love you for that.
Exactly. I already had her out picking on her birthday, so, we're going to.
That's right.
Because, not only had, the weather doesn't only affect the grapes. It also affects, all the workers and that. And even most of the harvest guys had gone back home. There weren't a lot of labor around, so it's kind of one of those you look to yourself and get it done.
Absolutely. Late harvests are very complex in that sense. Also, you were telling me earlier today that it's not as easy as normal harvesting. You actually have to handpick we say grappolo in Italian, guys. Give me a hand here. Cluster?
Bunch.
So you say bunch. You say bundle, cluster. I'm going to go with cluster, just saying, guys. But, so each cluster one by one. You should have seen these clusters. They were so beautiful, so tight-knit. These grapes were amazing, beautifully colored. I have a photo of it. It's on Facebook in the sun today when Brian with, your branch of Growers Organic, you brought them in.
Thank you, Brian.
It was just awesome. Thank you, really, Brian.
Big, huge shout out to Growers Organic who picked those grapes up. And why not? Growers Organic all over the state, sourcing the best delicious organic produce that you could possibly want from the best farms in the industry. And to have a grower's truck stop by, pick those up.
Magic happen. That's what they do. Growers Organic. They make magic happen.
But, Alex, you're not always going to get the best grapes possible. There'll be some. How do you tweak?
Well, you know what? So this is sort of a secret that I've been keeping, but I'm working with some people in California now to get the fire-tainted grapes over. And I want to make a beer with the fire-tainted, the smoke-tainted grapes that are otherwise going to go to waste.
Look at you, Alex. That's
you capitalist.
That's awesome. Well, look.
No. That's deeper, man.
So
He's trying to help these people that are having a problem.
We're definitely paying for them, and it's a way to be able to save an industry. And I'm just a small guy.
Can we give a portion back to some kind of fire unit?
But, look, think about this. So, Rauch beer. You guys know about Rauch beer? You know, that smoky beer? That happens because in Bamberg in the 1500s, they had a big fire. And Bamberg is like a sort of in the middle of mountains, right? So this fire basically covered all their barley fields. And they didn't know what to do. Oh, my God, what are we going to do? We're going to be without beer for like 3 months, 4 months? Oh, that's going to... People got to go crazy. They made beer the same. It came out smoky beer. They're like, oh, my God, this is it. And from then,
let's burn it down again.
Yeah. So in the same way, totally. So in the same way, this is something that might happen here. We might be creating something which is really unique, really positive, by looking at history and how it actually happened in history in Germany in the 1500s and doing it again here in California. It's a huge problem. There's a lot of people. Yeah. Not all the grapes are spoken for in California at the moment. I can assure you that. A lot of grapes do not have homes, and there's winemakers which have economic problems for that. And I'm just a little speck. I'm just a little brewer. But if enough other breweries are going to be doing that, now we can really make an impact.
This anno beer is going to tell a story, and it's going to make it that much more delicious. We're going to recap that story when we come back. Your portrait here with us. Alex Liberati, Brian Freeman, Greg Hollenbach, Kenyon George Kenyon, Michael Kenyon.
Georgie boy.
Is here with us, and Jay Parker right there. We're going to wind it down. Last segment of the show. We'll come back and give you an idea of what this story is, what it means to us, and how you can continue on this story with the love of Colorado, and that's our love story that we're building right here on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, you're clear. 2 minutes to a live.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook for all the fun photos and videos. Just search The Modern Eater.
Hey, Colorado chefs. Brian Freeman with Growers Organic and the Modern Eater Talk Show. Do you care about where your food comes from? I do. Do you want loyalty from customers who care about that as well? I can help by providing top-quality organic produce with reliable delivery, knowledgeable sales team who genuinely care about how food is grown, transported, and served. Chefs, Growers Organic will ensure you have excellent ingredients for your next James Beard dinner, your nightly specials, or...
All right, 30...
Join the organic revolution and go organic with Growers Organic. Look us up online at growersorganic.com.
Hey, chef friends, it's Little Rich here from Raquelitas Tortillas. Raquelitas, known for hyper-local, innovative, and healthy tortillas and chips, served by Colorado's top chefs, and that's why we only use Colorado Mills sunflower oil. If you, too, want to serve the healthiest, most vibrant-tasting foods, you must use Colorado Mills. Colorado Mills is hyper-local. Colorado
10.
Preston, Lamar, Colorado. Whether you bake, fry, or saute, get your Colorado Mills.
5.
Go through Shamrock, Growers Organic, and Dawn Foods. For the best oil in the business, use Colorado.
Go.
Back to the show in just a few minutes, you guys. But before that, I want to talk to you about bread and my favorite bakery. I'm Jay Parker. This is the Modern Eater Show. We are live at Liberati Restaurant and Brewery. And Aspen Baking Company has no preservatives, no artificial coloring, no chemicals in any of their bread.
I always wonder why other people do. You know, shouldn't that just be normal?
You would think when it comes to bread, but here's the thing. You know, a lot of places pump these chemicals into them because they want them to sit on your your counter for 10 days.
Doesn't that kill you?
With Aspen Baking, you want to eat it right away.
Well, yeah. I mean, the way it smells, and if you take a tourie on the brewery, AspenBaking.com.
Up the brewery.
Yeah. Back on track. AspenBaking.com is the website, you guys. Hoagies, focaccias, ciabattas, baguettes, croissants, bear claws, lobster rolls,
sourdough,
pound cakes, sourdough, coffee cakes.
Wait. They can
lunches.
yes, they can cater your office every day of the week.
Yes, they can. And if you want to cater your office, the easiest way to do that is to go to aspenbaking.com. Hashtag how's your Aspen? One more time, aspenbaking.com.
A little bit smoked, and then it just concentrates over years. So with where you're going,
I like my beer cold, my meat grilled, and my entertainment explosive.
All we need is a chair and a cooler beer.
Here's your booze news.
You better believe it.
Yeehaw!
Your booze news, all the booze news you can use.
And it's all right here at Liberati's in Denver.
Yeah, sponsored by Alex Liberati. Thank you, sir. You just bought the world.
I didn't even know about that, but yay.
You didn't. That's right. What a great time here. We're going to just do a little recap of this. I call it a love story. Is that jumping too far?
No, it's a Colorado
Well, we were all in a
story.
car for a few days, so there was a little bit of a love story. It was at least an Italian drama. I mean,
without the drama. So thank God, because that's brutal. But we got to meet so many amazing people.
I want to send it to you, Alex. I want you to just talk about, when I said, Alex, there was one time on the show, you were back at Studio Kitchen, Colorado. We're on the show, we're talking. Said, okay, next week we're going to the wine festival in Grand Junction, Colorado. And I said, Alex, you're going to go. You're like on the air, so you're okay.
Trapped. Basically trapped.
Just basically
So
trapped.
what are you going to do in 3 weeks' time? I really don't know what I'm going to do that day.
guess what,
Okay, so you're coming to a wine grape festival, aren't you? Yes. Okay, sure I am. I mean, what are you going to tell on air? But you know what? Honestly, that was the best choice of my life.
my friend. I was there with you. I mean, I got to tell you, we opened some doors that weekend.
Oh my God, we did. We met so many
closed
different
a
people.
couple doors.
I don't know. We probably closed the good ones, by the way. But we met so many fun people. That we learned so much. It was great. Some episodes. Oh my God.
Our
but,
first night at Route
time.
626. Our second night at Ben 707.
Yep.
Josh, and by the way, Garrett knows all these places because.
Well, and the visit to Garrett's Vineyard in the morning, it was the third day. I mean, that was really awesome.
I was surprised to see you guys upright.
It was great, man. We got to sample.
He's saying VIP after the Rocky Mountain Wine Festival.
So before we set sail, Alex had the idea of a grape stomp right here at Liberati. And I said, okay, we're going to and so I saw the opportunity. I was like, okay, we can source some Colorado grapes. Josh Nuremberg, he turned us on to Garrett at Carlson. And
it wouldn't have happened if we didn't meet Garrett.
Right.
And
or
Garrett
Josh. Everything down the line.
Josh, for sure. But Garrett, do you remember how he brought us into that winery, how he explained all his process, how we walked the vineyards with him, and he explained to us all the varietals that he had. Wasn't that romance?
It was romance.
I was just trying to get rid of people so I could get back to work, really.
Well, no, you had a cornhole tournament that you had to defend.
And I got
that day.
smoked.
Did you really?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, did you now?
It was the fastest loss in anything I've ever had in my entire life.
So check it out. Alex Liberati, Josh Nuremberg, Brian Freeman, Growers Organic, Garrett Portra, Carlson Vineyards, the Modern
Carlson Vineyards.
Did I say Carlson?
Carlton, you throw a T in there, baby. I love you. I've got you.
Why do you always correct me?
Well, because I've got your back. I've got your back. They wouldn't know, but I want to give our boy over there a big shout out. Carlson Vineyards.
Absolutely. And then Root Shoot Malting, which we have all of these people aligned in this project. It's coming back to brewing an Ono beer, an Eno beer. You could have corrected me, but you didn't, Alex, because you're a classy man.
I've given up on that, honestly.
I know. He's like, I'm not classy. I just try to keep you straight, baby.
Last couple of minutes, talk to us about what we can see for the final leg of this story.
Well, you know what? I think that this is a start. It's not the final leg. And honestly, we will be led by the grapes. We will be led by what naturally happens here.
Perfectly said. See you next week.